Good evening, everybody. It is Sammy here at Sammy J Stitches. It is Tuesday, February 27th, and I'm going to do an update video, and which means next week you should look for a vlog because that's how I'm going to try and do it for a little bit. It seemed to have went pretty well last time, so we're going to carry on with that. Also, I'd like to thank everybody who did let me know whether or not they liked the vlog and whether or not they liked the stitch with me, because it was a bit different. Disclaimer here. You probably hear a bunch of noise in the background. It's my husband's game. So sorry about that. I did turn the air off so you're not having to hear that, and I'm trying to speak up a little bit, so hopefully it's not a distraction, because I would really hate to have to re-record. I'm really bad about forgetting a ton of things the second time I record something. Okay, so everybody knows everything that is going on in the stitchy community right now, and it is dramatic. It is, to me, nonsensical. I don't understand it. I don't understand why people feel the need to be like that. I don't understand why the drama. All I'm gonna say on the matter is I really don't care. I just scroll past it all. I mean, I really feel for Katie and Garrett having to deal with people who are just not listening and continuing to drag this out. It should have, you know, been squelched with that first post. But outside of that, I just breeze on by things that I don't like. Which isn't very much because I'm a pretty open-minded person, but I just move right along. And so, I mean, even if I get comments down below that I don't like, I'm just gonna erase them. Sorry about you, kid. Okay. So, getting into this week, of course, I talked about a few in my Stitch With Me video, but I'm going to actually show them to you today. I've broken my whips down into two categories because I had a couple new starts and then I had whips that were already on the schedule, excuse me, to be worked on. So I have those separate, and then I do have a finish. And I got something in the mail. And kind of go over, I'm not super pleased with how February turned out, especially in comparison to January, because I did so well in January. February, not so well. Part of that you understand if you've watched my previous video. It's, you know, my son's medical stuff, it got in the way. But, so I'll go through all that at the end, because this really is a February wrap up for the most part. Tomorrow is one more day of stitching before March. So I won't have my numbers per se. So you'll see some of that in the vlog. I'll go over it in detail. So starting off, I might as well go with what I got in the mail. I won a pattern from Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy, and it came in the mail today. So, and she wrote me a little note. I'm not going to show you the note, but I'll show you the card on this card. My daughter asked if she lived in England because, I don't know, something about this gave her that impression. Maybe it was the euros. I don't know. But I explained that no, she lives in Oregon, but she sent that probably because she liked it. And so that was my mail this week. It's, part of it is Stitch from Stash, okay? I am behaving very well for Stitch from Stash this time around. The other thing is, we are currently planning for a big vacation at the end of the year, and if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna have to pinch all my little pennies together. So I can't say any more than that because I don't know who might see this video. My daughter does subscribe, but more on that later. Okay, so I had 2 new starts since the last time I showed y'all anything. 3 new starts. Hold on, I'm missing something. Where is it? I'm gonna have to go find it. So you may see a cut here. Okay, I'm back. Apparently 3 of my projects have gotten lost, and I grabbed 1 incorrect project. So anyways, back to what we were doing. I had man, people like to distract me. Okay, I had 3 new starts this month. 2 because they were smalls that I start on. We stitch smalls on Friday, which the whole premise of that is actually finishes, and I didn't get any finishes on my smalls this month, so I'm not actually going to do a blog post for that. But anyways, got those, and then I had 1 actual big finish that was part of one of the Olympic events on the 24th. So let's see our new whips that are in rotation, and my smalls, they're gonna be done next month. This is a Christmas tree ornament. That light's just a little too harsh. Let's see if I can. Okay. There's just a little Christmas tree. I just have to finish this row and do the stand. That's it. Little Christmas tree ornament. So that was 1. My next one was, okay, so there's typically 4 Fridays in a month, typically. And the first one will be for my advent animal that I am working on. The second one is for a Christmas ornament, and the third one is for a Halloween ornament. So I actually did start a Halloween ornament because when I kitted projects up on the 8th, I kitted several Halloween ornaments to be ready for the next couple months. However, I don't know if I wasn't paying attention when I was kitting, like I was trying to go too fast, or if I purposely did this because I just wanted to use every last scrap of fabric I possibly have. But when I kitted this one, I had trimmed down Cheshire Cat. After I finished him, I trimmed off the excess fabric that I'm not going to need, and I felt like there was enough for ornaments. So then I guess when I picked this ornament and it didn't quite fit on this scrap, I went, I'll just do it 1/1. It's cool. We'll make it fit. I need to start using my brain sometimes. Okay, so this is 32 count Belfast linen, and I decided to stitch 1/1. And actually I ended up doing tent stitch because there were, or 2/1. And of course that's really thick. I should have just done 1/1. But I had already started it, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just do tent stitch. So, which went really fast. It was one of the days I did like 2,000 something stitches in one day. And I got her mostly done. This is from one of my magazines that I have digitally. Back before I had an organization system, I ripped a bunch of magazines apart using Goodreader and named each of the individual patterns, and I didn't say where I had gotten them from. So I can't tell you, but the pattern is called Got Candy ? Because like I'm working on her stockings down here, and then her boots, and then under it says Got Candy. These little guys are gonna turn into spiders. This is a little cat. The only thing I really don't like about the fact that I did this so small is her eyes, because she has 2 eyes there and you can't even tell. She looks like Cyclops. So, and she's gonna have a big nose back stitched on her. But other than that, and I really, oh, and her hair and her belt buckle, because they're with Krynic and I didn't have it with me. So there's still a little bit more to do, but she'll be done next month. I kind of really like the really small stitches and doing it 10 stitch, but I definitely won't continue to subject myself to such things because I'm crazy. My husband shut the door, so my background noise should be gone. Okay. And lastly, on the 24th, the Olympic event was a new start, and also in somebody's birthday stitch along, it was the same thing. So anyways, I finally started my Legendary Creatures stitch along for Clouds Factory, and I almost got the first January's part complete. Almost. And this is just in one night. I got all the Leprechaun and a good part of Medusa. I had to finish Medusa to finish January's piece. So that's what he looks like. I'm getting to play with some variegated thread because I got the Weeks Dye Works that it called for, but really for the most part right now the stitching's too small for you to be able to see the variegation. You can see it a little bit in his coat, but really, because like this blue line is aqua, can't really tell. The red I think does a little bit. The green, you're starting to see it more over here in her tail. Or, yeah, I think it's a tail. So that was my other new start, which will go into my rotation. And then you know what I realized? If I look at my whip tracker, I don't have any room to start anything else. I really need to save some of it for Mania, but see? Now, I did finish 2 things this month, so there are 2 spaces now for March, but still, holy cow. And I showed y'all Fancy Outhouse before, and then I have a new finish today. I'm so excited about it. So, I also need to get that fabric trimmed down because it is like twice what I actually need. And it's too much. Okay, first whip, and this one was, like I said, supposed to be shown before, so I discussed it. I just hadn't shown it, and it's on the same fabric as that one. So 32 count Belfast in Dusk by Zweigart. I think I really focused on trying to get the birdhouse completed, and I worked some on this flower down here, and I did a ton of back stitching. Still not quite finished with the back stitching, but I did a lot of it. Hold on, got this. Okay. So let me fold this so I can hold it and show you where it's at. Hold on, this light. So I'm just gonna have to go somewhere else. Any better? I want enough light so you could see it, but not so much that you're blinded. So there's Nest is Blessed. And it comes from a magazine. I have it written down somewhere which one. But if you look it up in the magazine, Our Nest is Blessed is not the name of the pattern. That is what I called it because that's what it says, like on the thing itself. It's called something else, like Birdhouse or something. What is this? Oh, this is that, which I actually wasn't supposed to pull out this time. Sometimes I get Nest is Blessed and Welcome to confused. I don't know why. So those are those. I worked on my Christmas rules some. This one, Lizzie Kate. Lizzie Kate. I really want to get Halloween rolls. We'll see. Ah, look at that. I love the sparkle in this fabric. I feel like it's just as Christmassy as everything else. In fact, it's called Christmas in Williamsburg. So, I got the top part of the border done. By the way, we discussed this last time and I never went back and rediscussed. My rolls are off. They kind of stagger, but with the font, you can't really tell. And that was my point. You can't tell. Like, who's to say that wasn't part of the pattern? unless you've done the pattern or you'll look at the pattern. You know, somebody coming to my house and seeing this is not gonna know that that wasn't done intentionally. On top of that, most of you didn't even notice what was wrong with it. So my point I was trying to make when I did that whole how you're looking at it thing is, one, when it's hanging up on a wall, most people are going to be seeing it from this far away. So it's not going to be, I mean, very few people are going to get right up on it to look at it, right? Also, so, I mean, if you have to fudge it a little, it's cool. We understand. You don't have to frog every little mistake if you can still make it work. Testament. True testament. Okay. I've rambled on enough about that. I just think it's so pretty. It's so pretty. That on that gold, just Christmas. It's like the gold garland you put on the tree. Okay. Next, we have 100 Years by... It's good. And I'm going to start calling somebody and being like, I need you to come trim fabric for me, because apparently I don't know what the F I'm doing. Because look at this. See how much room I gave myself? How? And look, I gave myself all of this, because this is the top. This is the top. All of this on the top and the bottom. That on the side. Really? I don't know what my brain is doing. And I think what happened was I didn't exactly start in the middle. I folded it. I said it was the middle, but I did something wrong. Anyways, it's cool. I'm just gonna sew some fabric on the side and go from there, right? So this is where I'm at. I'm bouncing all over the place, so it makes no sense. I got tired of working that close to the edge, which is why I didn't finish this, because originally I was going to get all the way up here, work my way down, but I was getting tired of working that close to the edge. So I really need to sew the fabric on first too before this gets too frayed. So that is 100 Years from Lizzie Kate. You know, another pattern I really, really want, and this one's already been out of commission before the whole Lizzie Kate's retiring thing, is At My House or House Rules or something like that. And it's like, at my house we do loud, because if you knew my family, when we get together we are loud. Loud. Okay, next. One of these days. Okay, last whip, and she actually got half a night last night. So, and I found I stitch way slower on her because the count is like 36 count, so the holes are really tiny, and I don't like the way that I bought some smaller needles specifically for this project a while back, and they didn't make it into wherever I keep my patterns, so I have to go find them so I can use them, because that's part of my problem is my needle's too big. The way it pulls and the way it has a really hard time finding the holes, because it's trying to, I mean, some of these threads are so small, and so it pushes the wrong one. Anyways, here's Foxglove by Corbett. I worked mostly on this wing, got a little bit more of the dress done, because I would like do a row of yellow, come over here and do a row on the dress, do a row of yellow, and then I got stuck in this pink and orange blend here. I was trying to get all of it. It's so pretty. And that head and the skin stitched up so fast. I'm like, oh, this is no problem. Got into that wing and went, it's taking forever. So, just enjoying her. And I want so badly to put the beads in there, but not necessarily, excuse me, because I feel the need to bead, or even because I want the bling on there. It's because I don't like the empty spots in my pattern. I want to go back and be able to color them in, and I can't. So that is Foxglove by Nora Corbett on 36 count opal Apollo linen from Under the Sea Fabrics. So I have all her beads in there. I just haven't done it yet. Oh, my baggage is so bad tonight. Part of it is when I go to work, like this morning. I went to leave work this morning and I'm out of windshield wiper fluid, so I went to throw some water on my windshield to get the dust off so I could drive, and it froze. It was like 33 degrees outside. It froze. This afternoon I wake up from sleeping and I'm pouring sweat because it's like 80 degrees outside. Not really 80, it's probably like 72, but I don't deal with the hot very well. Anyway, and actually I didn't get off work till really late this morning because my relief could not find where I was at for 2 hours. So next we have a finish, and it's a Year of Whips project. It was also my focus piece this month, so y'all have seen it 1,001 times, but now you're gonna get to see it. We're gonna do this slowly. Bam! All done. Yay! It's all done. It's all done. It's all done. That was $20 credit on Stitch from Stash, man. I didn't take them as I could throughout the, yeah. So I remember this was supposed to be August Dragon. Moved it to October. This one was supposed to be October's Dragon. Moved it to December. And this was supposed to be December's Dragon. So it looks a little different from others that you've noticed. That's why. Too awesome. Too awesome. I had this guy at my rig last night. He was like, how do you keep yourself entertained all night? Because like last night was a slow night. I barely saw anybody all night. I said, I watch Netflix and I cross stitch. He's like, you what? I said, I cross stitch. He said, can you make me a blanket? No. No. And then I pulled this out and showed him, and he was like, Pokemon! No. I just found it hilarious. And then he was like, you know, if I pay you, would you do something? Nope. It takes me way too long to finish something, and if I felt obligated, I probably never want to touch it. That is it for this week. For actually more like 2 weeks of whips and finishes. Next month, there are very few events. So I'm kind of just sticking things in places. Now, the first week is Series Killer with semi-sand stitchers. So that's where I'm going to try and get, not Burst on Dragons because it's done. No. Under the Sea Stitch Along, the Legendary Creatures, and Guardians of Notre Dame will be in that first week. And then my very next one will be Autumn Wraith because it did not get any attention in February because of me having to move things around for the days that I didn't stitch at all. So it'll be one of the first that I need to work on, and then I'll just kind of work on them after that. Easter Tree is going to come into play next month. And the reason is because there's an event where you work on the thing that makes you want to tear your eyeballs out, apparently. I forgot what it's called, and they didn't describe it quite that way, but basically for one day you work on that one whip that just... So Easter Tree will come out at times like that when it's just most appropriate. And maybe if I'm not forcing myself to work on it every month, I will start to like it again. I don't know. So my whip tracker, as you can see, Easter tree and autumn wreath both didn't get worked on this month. So when I created March's, they're the only two without an X. So, and really, I guess I could take Easter tree off of this and give myself another spot. But like I said, I might still work on it from time to time. So I haven't fully UFO'd that. It's a temp thing. Unlike last year, I UFO'd Bloom and Be Happy or something like that. That thing went gone. Because I finished Birthstone Dragons, my year of whips is currently at 3 of 16. Easter tree really should be, I don't know, swapped out or considered a UFO or whatever, but we really only have to complete half of them. So I'm not really worried about that. And I may actually give myself, because it's multiple pages, just say, well, but I don't think it's more than 8. I don't know. I'll look at that. But anyways, I am at 3 of 16. After I quit blinding you. Okay. I've got 2 pages here that prove January did not go so well. The first is my stitch count, and you'll see this again because I'm gonna stitch tonight, so it's not done yet. But there are actual zeros this month. I don't normally have zeros, or I didn't last month anyway. So, but look at this. Where is it? Well, I guess my highest one was 1,796 stitches. It's pretty awesome. That was that Got Candy. So when all is said and done, I will add them all up, put the total here, then divide it by how many days are in the month and get my average. So y'all will see that on my vlog. So looking forward to it. And then this. Excuse me. I had 3 starts in January and 3 finishes in January. February I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new starts and 2 finishes. That's bad. I don't really care. It's just, it's not nearly as impressive as January was. I was editing and I realized I forgot something and wanted to go ahead and throw this in there before I finish the video, and so this may seem really random in whatever line of talking I was doing. Anyway, my kids had their school book fair today, and I decided to go and take a look, and I bought a couple things. So I was going to show you what I bought. I'm a mess, y'all. Such a mess. Okay, and this was kind of a last minute thing anyway. First, I've been seeing the previews for this movie, so I decided maybe I'll read the book before I actually get around to watching the movie. It's called A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline Langlois? I don't know. So, I don't really know what it's about because all it says is the stuff about the movie because this is the movie version. But I've seen the previews for the movie. I am going to want to see it, so I figured I would read the book. So that's A Wrinkle in Time. And then I really like Casey West, and I probably already have this book on my ebooks, but I have found that reading my ebooks is not happening because I get distracted. So I picked up Love, Life, and the List by Casey West. And it says, 17-year-old Abby Turner's summer isn't going the way she planned. She has a not-so-secret but definitely unrequited crush on her best friend Cooper. She hasn't been able to manage her mother's growing issues with anxiety, and now she's been rejected from an art show because her work has no heart. So when she gets another opportunity to show her paintings, Abby isn't going to take any chances, which is where the list comes in. Abby gives herself 1 month to do 10 things, ranging from face a fear, learn a stranger's story, fall in love. She knows that if she can complete the list, she'll become the kind of artist she's always dreamed of being. But as the deadline approaches, Abby realizes that getting through the list isn't as straightforward as it seems, and that maybe, just maybe, she can change her art if she she can't change her art if she isn't first willing to change herself. So it sounds like a really good book. And I like the idea of giving yourself 10 things to do, like 10 small goals outside your comfort zone to try and complete in a time frame. Because if you don't have to make a list or like actually try and accomplish such things, but if you were to make a list of 10 things that you could do to better yourself, push against your boundaries, your anxieties, and your limits, what would they be? I'd love to know. So I'll make mine and we'll discuss it next time. So anyways, I hope y'all on with the so anyway, that is that. I'm going to go work on my Heaven and Earth design mini treasure hunt bookshelf. I will not be doing the Stitch With Me video tonight or tomorrow. I might do one Thursday at work. I don't know. We'll see. Because tomorrow I have to take the kids to the eye doctor and gotta get a new tire. Still gotta get my brakes fixed on my truck. Oil changes. What else? Grocery shopping. Yep. I gotta do all that adulting stuff tomorrow so that I can pretend I'm not an adult every other day and stitch and not clean. Which is actually what I'm about to go do, is clean my kitchen so I can ignore life for the rest of the night. So I may do a Stitch With Me video, and my husband's off, so Stitch With Me videos are very difficult when he is home. And then I'll have a vlog ready for you next Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever day I decide to actually record one of these again. So I hope y'all have a great Stitchy week. Be nice to each other. Be adults that are more considerate about other people's feelings than they are their own. You know that whole golden rule, do unto others as you would want done unto you. So stay out of the drama. Let it roll off your back. Enjoy life. Be happy. Be stitchy. And just have a great week. I'll talk to y'all later.